Maggie, or whoever's grading this. So we had a little bit of a problem. I had made a video yesterday, which was Friday, and I was all prepared to submit it. And because the file was too big on my phone, it ended up getting deleted, which is really frustrating because I just found that out today. And so I'm having to remake this video, so sorry if I look like a mess. But so I had to remake the video now, and I'm going to do my best to hold it together. But anyway, so I've broken down my Pilates workout into a few different sections, and so what I'll do is I will do one section and explain it, do another section and explain it, and then do the same thing through for each of those. that was, as you can see, the very calm portion that we've done before in our first week of Pilates practice. And I did the breath awareness, lying on the back with the knees up, obviously, and I did about 4 deep breaths, and then on the last one I imprinted and then did 2 of the marble ideas that we used, tipping the pelvis anteriorly and then tucking back like we're rolling the marble across our pelvis. And then I did the clock rotations as if we were rolling and tipping our pelvis to move the marble around. And I did it opposite ways, and I repeated that 4 times. And then finally I did the mini pelvic lifts, like the mini bridges, 4 times. I incorporated the breath awareness because when I get really stressed, as I am right now, it's really helpful for me to calm down. And also just really focus on my core and what that's doing, and to kind of center myself inward when there's so many crazy things going on. And it's also nice to have a sense of awareness about my pelvis. I get a correction a lot about how I need to hold my lower abs and control my pelvis, and it's something that I'm constantly working on. And I feel that this is an exercise, the marble one specifically, helps me to improve my awareness with my lower abs and keeping that stability within my core. And now I will go into my next section. as you can see, that one was more core centered as well as arm mobilization centered. I incorporated the arm lifts and back, the arm snow angels, the arm snow angels with the tuck, the lower ab curl. I included the goalposts, the external and internal rotation, and the V and W diagonals. And finally, I included the slow dead bugs, controlled, and I did 8 of those, as well as the heels drawing out 4 times. I chose to do the specific arm exercises because my shoulders often get tight, and I also at the same time have very mobile arms, very flexible arms, and I'm trying to work on my alignment and not necessarily letting them push back. I'm working on the control of them, and that's why I enjoy these really slow, for instance, the pullbacks in the goalpost is feeling that control and support in my back. Also, the roller gives it a very nice support and challenge that allows me to also strengthen my core, building upon that idea of me strengthening my general core as well as my lower abdominals, as teachers have told me to strengthen. And specifically what I just referred to, that is why I also put in the dead bugs and the heel slides. I really can feel my inner abdominals working in that, specifically because I'm wobbling on the roller, and so it definitely adds an element of challenge. And I had never done that previously. I had only ever done it on the mat, so it was a nice change for me, and it's definitely something I'll do more often because I could feel my engagement the entire time. I have 2 more sections. I will go into my next one. So that section was obviously shorter, but I really enjoy that section because it gives me a sense of breath, as that's been a constant theme within my exercises, my sequence, I should say. And so as you saw, we had the belly hamstring engagement exercise where I lifted my hamstrings and then also did the opposition with the arms. I also did the marble flicks that we've reviewed a few times. I think it was week 1 and week 2. I did 4 cat-cows and 4 shoulder organizations where we sunk into the shoulders and pressed up with power. And then I did 4 of the pelvis sinks, which was tipping the pelvis anteriorly and then collecting and engaging the abs. And then finally child's pose. The hamstring belly engagement exercise was put in there because for one thing, as I'm going to reiterate more and more, is the need for me to strengthen my core. And part of that, I believe, is needing to work on my hamstring strength. I think maybe my quads are being overused, so that's making me tilt forward more in an anterior pelvic tilt. So by working on my hamstring strength, I'm hopefully going to be able to realign my pelvis and be stronger in my positions. And so it's really nice to feel that engagement of the hamstrings, even if my foot's being lifted off only like a few inches in that exercise. And then the opposition with the arms is really nice to feel a lengthening, almost like someone's pulling on my legs. The marble flicks are really nice because I sometimes feel like I need to work on my back strength more. I used to work on it a lot when I was younger, meaning in high school. And now I've been focusing on other things, and that has decreased my time that I dedicate to strengthening my back. So this is just a way of me getting back into it and getting more motivated to strengthen my back muscles again. The cat-cow, shoulder organization, and pelvis sink are really nice because I do have a very flexible back, and because of that, it's nice to feel a sense of strength and correctness whenever I get placed back into that closed core, closed ab area, whenever I place myself with straight alignment. So that feels really nice. And then the child's pose is really nice to just have another awareness of being calm and that things don't need to be super crazy at this time, and that I need to focus on breathing. Again, that theme of breathing that I've had throughout this workout. And then I'll go into my final section, which is all core strengthening. Okay. So that is completion of my exercise routine. And the last section that I just completed was the core section, as I explained before, and I included the 16 switching dead bugs. I actually decided to do 32 instead of 16, and that was really helpful because I felt a really nice engagement and control. I could feel my inner abs like vibrating because I was trying to control it so much, which is good because sometimes I feel that in my hip flexors, which I know you shouldn't as much, which means I'm not doing a curl of my pelvis enough. And so next I did the 4 circle arounds to the 100s. And as you may have heard, I did a lot of breathing, which again was really helpful for me because it helped keep my timing considering I'm not listening to music, as well as reminding myself to breathe. So, you know, I think dancers are sometimes embarrassed to breathe loudly, and I've always tried to tell myself to breathe, not necessarily loud, but deep, so that I remember to actually breathe, and it actually helped me feel like I had more energy going throughout this core exercise. And so I felt that through the 4 circle arounds to the 100s. The 100s are really nice, and I always feel that in my abs, so that one went really well. And the rollovers were really, actually this time it went better than the last time I videoed this, so that was good. I felt a lot more control, and especially since I used my breathing every time I came up and back. And I made sure that when I was breathing out, I breathed out to my full extent, and that really helped me feel my core engage. And like I said, I'm trying to work on my core strength, especially my lower ab strength, and I feel like these exercises particularly tailor to that and are reaching those core muscles that I need to be strengthening. And then the last few ones were the leg swings to the right and to the left on both sides. And I feel like although that's not necessarily a core strengthener, it's a nice hip release for me. I have tighter hips, and I know part of that is me just needing to stretch them out, but I also need to get better at loosening my hips up when I swing. So that exercise is really helpful. And finally, the rolling like a ball. First, when I saw this exercise, I was like, oh, that looks just like fun and stuff. And it really is fun. And it's nice to roll out my back, but I can also definitely feel an engagement in my abs to some extent. I remember Maggie saying that in the week 2 video, if you feel it in your hip flexors, you're not doing the ab curl enough. And so I always try to focus on that when I do this particular exercise, and I definitely feel my abs now that I think about it more. And again, it's just really nice to kind of lengthen out and roll out the back. So that is the complete Pilates workout that I've created for my final.